Welcome back to HM and Big E Review Things. We're joined once again by our good friend Rob, and today we're talking about the season 3 premiere of. It's not on Fox anymore. It's just on Disney. I don't know. Of the Orville. The Orville.
Yeah, New Horizons.
Is that what the season is called?
Season 3 is called New Horizons.
New Horizons. And so this is episode 1. This episode delved into some kind of more serious things.
Oh, yeah.
The tone kind of felt like it changed a little bit. But maybe before we dive into this particular episode, you guys have seen Orville season 1 and 2. What are your overall thoughts on the show?
I guess when it first launched, I thought it was going to be a Family Guy type of show, a comedy, parody type of show. And I felt like the first season had a really quite rough start. Some of the humor really didn't land for me. It was kind of all over the place. Seth MacFarlane seemed like he was, because he's the director, producer, main character. He was kind of a little bit lost. But then they started making some switches in season 2 that I noticed. And now into season 3, it's very much like the new Star Trek: The Next Generation. It's got that vibe to it.
Yeah.
And I like this direction a lot where they're going.
Well, I mean, Seth MacFarlane has gone on record before when he was talking about, creating the show, his love of Star Trek. He was on Star Trek at one point as like an extra or something. I think something like that. Yeah. But he talks very effusively about his love of Star Trek: The Next Generation, especially. And so, yeah, when when this show kind of they were promoting, the first season of the show, it's like, oh, is this going to be like a just straight up parody of Star Trek?
That's right.
But actually,
kind of like Galaxy Quest, right?
Yeah. And then actually, this I think took it slightly. This maybe in the first season was hard to kind of find that balance where there is a little bit of that where it's parodying, all the tropes and kind of the settings, but he's also taking it pretty earnestly and seriously, and then throwing in some of the Seth MacFarlane level jokes. And so maybe in that first season, it couldn't really find that proper balance yet. Rob, what did you think about season 1 and season 2 of The Orville? Do you remember season 1, season 2?
Well, the truth is, I only watched season 1. I didn't watch season 2 yet. But going back to Seth MacFarlane, he gets Patrick Stewart on his Family Guy show, and he's also in American Dad.
I believe the one episode, or I'm sure Patrick Stewart, I think, has been on a few episodes of Family Guy, but there was one where the entire TNG cast was on it. On Family Guy. So his love for Star Wars is
Star Trek,
excuse me. His love for Star Trek is really evident.
Yep. Well, for me, when I watched the first season, I'll be quite honest with you. There were some cringe moments. Oh. I mean, some of the jokes I thought Seth MacFarlane was trying too hard. Mm-hmm. Like it wasn't coming naturally. Mm-hmm. But I think as the season progressed, he was trying to find his footing, and ultimately it did trend better. Like it did get better towards the end of season 1.
Well, and then he's saying season 2 gets even better.
Which after season 1 for me, it was kind of like, oh, okay, if we're going to get more or less the same thing, I'm just going to stop at season 1. But again, I've been hearing good things about season 2 and how this is actual Star Trek compared to what we're getting in Discovery. But I'll probably finish season 2 before I start season 3.
I mean, to be fair, season 1s and pilots, and it's hard. It's hard to find that tone and for the cast and all that stuff to gel. Not every season 1 can be as good as Strange New Worlds has been so far. Check out our review of episode 1 and 2, or 1, 2, 3, I don't know, of Strange New Worlds. But I'm really enjoying that show. These guys are a little bit more skeptical. But yeah, season 1, there was definitely some cringe jokes and stuff that didn't fit. So for season 3 premiere, I didn't remember what happened, and I wish they did a recap. I wish they did a quick recap of what happened, and maybe they sort of did with that kind of vision.
I think
or that
all you
dream.
need to know is that there was a gigantic space battle.
Yes, and the aggressors were the Kaylon. The robot people.
Right, and they really decimated quite a bunch of the ships and the fleet, and people died, and now they're kind of recovering.
But then at the end, they only survive because Isaac, the Kaylon that's part of the crew, saves the ship or saves humanity or saves
and they reactivated
the alliance, the union. The union, thank you.
Right? Speaking of which, I've always thought, even watching season 1, is how is Paramount not suing Seth MacFarlane?
Yeah,
because it really is like a cut for cut copy, where the warp drive is called the quantum drive, and
then they have the 3 uniform colors,
right?
The holodeck.
The holodeck,
and they're really, really pushing that line. I'm surprised Paramount hasn't sued them.
The Klingon proxy. I mean, the Kalon is the data proxy. It's very, very straight parallels. But I'm sure that as he was writing it, their legal team was combing through very, very finely to make sure that they wouldn't be sued. So the Kalon War happens, and then Isaac is reactivated. I don't remember. I guess he was through his sacrifice. I guess he was knocked out, and they reactivated him and put him back into service.
Right, and this new season kicks off where they're in space dock repairing the ship, getting a refit, and really just talking about how the crew feels about having this robot on board, and it's a lot of themes about prejudice and hatred and forgiveness and all that kind of stuff. So from season 1 to season 3, the serious meter goes up a lot and all the fun goes down a lot. Have you noticed that? Like, I don't think Seth MacFarlane cracked one joke in the first episode of this season. There was literally maybe one joke the whole crew kept. There was no jokes.
This was a very serious episode.
Super serious.
Yeah, they're dealing with a very strong form of prejudice against Isaac. They're dealing with, spoiler warning, they're dealing with, suicide. Essentially, they're dealing with, trauma for children and PTSD, that type of stuff for some of the crew members, working with people that you hate. Like, it is, I'm glad that he didn't force and try to put in jokes that probably wouldn't have fit or would have, been really out of place. I don't know.
Yeah, I think it's a refreshing take because it's like classic Trek, but I'm not sure where they're going to go. I have a feeling that they need to go back into some of the less serious stuff, because the look of this show and the people they cast, a lot of comedians, and it's very clean and bright, and I'm not sure how serious you could really go beyond this very serious opener.
I think season 2, again, I don't really remember season 2. Season 2, I think, got to some serious places too. I don't know. If there wasn't another Star Trek show on right now that I was enjoying, this would be like a very good breath of fresh air. I'll still keep watching. We're big sci-fi fans.
Yeah, I'll watch, and I think it'll be interesting. They are saying this may be the last season, though. The final season, so we'll see.
Not every sci-fi show can last 7 seasons, like Voyager. Or 10 seasons like Stargate SG-1. So
that's another episode that convinced me. Okay.
But maybe 3 seasons is good. I don't know. How much more story do you have to tell?
Well, you know what? I'm sitting here. Remember, I only watched season 1, and I'm on the fence of watching season 2 and maybe doing season 3.
And yet you watched through 2.5 seasons of Discovery.
Well, I really like Sonequa Martin Green.
Thank you for watching.
Love you. So I followed her.
She is good.
Then it got to the point where the writing.
A lot of the acting was good, right? Saru. What's the actor's name for Saru? We're sorry. Insert here. He's actually really like
Doug.
Oh yeah. Doug something. Thank you for watching Doug something. Anyway, okay. But yeah, a lot of those actors are actually pretty good, and just the writing and stuff. Okay, I don't know. We don't have much to see here.
But again, my question is, so should I continue and watch season 2 and 3?
I actually think you can watch season 3 without really season 1.
Yeah.
Just forget all those jokes and stuff and jump right into
The only context you need, again, is that there was a massive battle. Kalons, like the robots did it, and there's a robot serving on the ship now.
Okay. You can get sort of where all the characters are in, like their type personality right from this season. Sort of where they are. Which is interesting, because Seth MacFarlane was doing all those jokes as a captain, but now he's super serious.
I remember reading a quote somewhere. Somebody said something like, when you're writing a pilot for a show, you write your pilot, you finish it, you introduce all the characters and that kind of stuff, and then you throw that out. And then you write the next episode, and that's your pilot. So you don't need to overtly tell people where they're set up. It's if the characters are good enough and they're kind of playing their characters properly, you get that sense of who they are, just through their actions and their dialogue. And so, I mean, I'm just mentioning that because you mentioned you could jump into season 3 and you could skip 1 and 2 entirely.
In essence, I think season 1 and 2 could have been that scrap. Just go season 3.
Right.
Yeah. So I'll give that a try. I'll jump right in.
Yeah. I mean, that would be true for Star Trek TNG too. Season 1 was.
Right, but this one it benefits because there's so many shows like before.
Yeah. He's running off of a template.
That's right. You're running off the template, even down to the uniforms and the pips on the uniforms and everything.
Where people are seated on the bridge.
Exactly.
And
the different types of characters on the bridge.
Yeah. I mean, so if you, so I guess maybe this is just pulls back to a general question of, so if you haven't seen the Orville and you like sci-fi, is it worth checking out?
I think it's worth checking out. I think one thing I do want to mention is the effects are pretty good.
Yeah.
It looks pretty nice. They actually use practical sets in the Orville. And there's this first scene in the season 3 opener where they're running down the hall and the ship's exploding. It looks really nice. So I think they're trying their best. This is not Seth MacFarlane just phoning it in.
Yeah.
He's really pouring his heart and soul into this series.
Yes.
So I would say definitely check it out. It's a very easily accessible type of show.
It's long. This episode was so long. I don't
like
remember.
A movie.
Were the other ones this long too?
No,
I don't think
it was a runtime.
71 minutes.
Yeah, it's over an hour 10 or something. Like yeah.
I don't know. It seems like a lot of these shows are going with longer episodes but shorter seasons.
Yes.
Versus the 40-minute seasons that maybe TNG had, but 20 episodes.
Yeah.
I think they probably. My guess is probably 8 episodes to 10, and they double it by increasing the length.
Yeah, that's true. Maybe. Rob, anything else to add for the Orville?
No, I mean, I'll give season 3 a try. I'm not going to watch season 2.
Okay.
And just jump right in.
Yeah, give that a try. Yeah, if you like sci-fi, especially if you like, 90s Star Trek, basically, like if you like TNG, this doesn't quite hit the highs of TNG. It also avoids, I think, some of the lows. TNG had some lows, but overall TNG, obviously, I would say is a better show than this. But this kind of gives you that same kind of feels. Check it out. The Orville, now it's streaming on Disney Plus. Since Disney acquired Fox, it was a Fox show, and that's why I was confused at the beginning. But yeah, season 3 just premiered, and it's out every
week,
Wednesday, Thursday, I don't know, whenever these shows come out. Check it out. We're enjoying it. Let us know if you've seen it. Let us know what you think. Let us know what you think about what we think. And until next episode, keep watching things.
Please like and subscribe too. Thanks.